We're here at the Web 2.0 Summit in San Francisco. I have with me Harriet Fryman from IBM, and want to talk a bit about data analytics, and in a somewhat different context than maybe we've been talking about here, how you could combine the sort of business intelligence that you do inside a large enterprise and then pulling in social data from outside. So why is that compelling as a business need?
Yep. Well, definitely the two worlds are converging. Some people would say colliding.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing that social media and getting your hands around social media can really help understand critical questions, right? BI is all about answering critical questions about your business. And quite often people look only at internal data and say, is my sales on track? How my finance is doing? How's my P&L? Well, social media really helps you answer why. Why am I doing well? Why am I doing poorly? And what's happening out there in the world outside my enterprise, which is actually influencing my everyday purchases and what's happening.
So to boil that down then, you're getting some kind of a sentiment analysis that's based upon large amounts of social media data. So I assume we're talking about Facebook and Twitter here?
Yep.
And how are you determining what's relevant in that huge wash of updates and then putting it against the relevant internal bits?
Right, well the key is really to find out where you want to drive different performance in your business. So you know that from your internal systems, right? So you know where you're doing well, where you're doing poorly. Then when you look out in social media, you've got to try and get the interest out of the noise, right? Which is looking for the behaviors that are happening, what people are talking about. And I think a classic example was back in the World Soccer days, right, with FIFA. They all said, oh, the ball's wrong because there weren't enough goals or something. It was the two-lighter ball. And there was a ton of social chatter and key words and phrases, positive, negative sentiment, where you could really find out what was happening and actually use that information as a business to turn around the chatter to be more positive chatter.
Now, that can certainly have some corporate relevancy if you have a product or service.
Yep.
You could also say if the product or service isn't very good, no amount of social media is going to fix that for you too.
Right.
To what extent do you think that these intersection of these data sets and insight into them can be made into actionable insight that a policymaker can then carry forward to improve the bottom line?
Yep, so the news is, well, as we're in the media business, right? So there's three parts of media. You can own it, or you can buy it, like Google Ads, or you can earn it. And it's really understanding how to earn it and how to apply analytics to that earning that will make that social network grow. So when I look at what's interesting, I look at a lot of the companies here. It's a great show to find out what people are doing. A lot of the companies' jobs are founded on the fact that they're applying analytics. They're just not calling it analytics, right? Recommendations, favorites. Being able to do analytics on that can help inform what you're going to do next.
So, last question. In terms of the bottom line differences that you've seen in terms of application of what we're talking about here, what have been some of the improvements? And can we ground it in actual changes to business outcomes?
You can get it, especially it's very tangible in marketing, right? Because you can actually measure the outcome of marketing spend in social media. So you can change your budget and your expenditure across different channels, and we've seen people changing their expenditure, and it's been in the news many times, right? Where people are actually changing to the much more measurable and monetizing of social media outlets for their advertising. And that's really where we see out of anything that's being applied of analytics on social media, it's in the marketing departments of organizations.
All right, something to watch. Thank you so much for the conversation.
Thanks very much.